As already communicated by the Executive Director,
the National Identification and Registration Authority has launched a third-party interface that will give government agencies and private institutions access to data on the National Identification Register. The Minister of Internal Affairs, Jjeje Odongo, says those requesting for information from the register will need to adhere to strict protocols created to establish parameters of access.
The purpose was consolidated information under one entity, but make it available to other institutions that require this information for purposes for which they want it, to enable activity of a political, socio-economic nature, as well as security.
The interface, which has been ready since 2017, has been tested with the Uganda Investment Authority, Uganda Revenue Authority, Uganda Communications Commission, and different telecom companies. Currently, access to the NIRA register is regulated by the Registration of Persons Act 2015 and Registration of Persons Regulations 2015.
You must obtain consent of the individual whose information you seek to access. And the only exception to that consent is if the access is required by law. And an example I can give is if an order is issued by court for us to provide that information. The second is for you to pay the requisite fees, and the fees are provided in a fee schedule. And you pay those fees unless those fees have been waived.
However, Dorothy Mukasa, the Executive Director and Wanted Witness, a data privacy advocacy group, says the launch of the interface has undermined the current process in Parliament to have the Data Protection Bill passed into law.
And in any case, what are the obligations of the third party? You know, they're giving out data to third parties, access. You know, what are the obligations? This law is silent on that obligation. And this is also prone to abuse. We are going to see a lot of abuse of personal data because people will have to pay. Money is not a problem for anyone who wants to access data. You know, they will have to pay and access data. But what happens after they have accessed that data? It's going to be abused.
We have systems, we have protection protocols that guarantee safety of our data.
The National Identification and Registration Authority has so far issued up to 14 million national identification cards. This means with the launch of this new interface, various third-party organizations will have access to the personal data of all these individuals. While there are many advantages to granting access to different organizations, this also raises the need for strict data protection laws to protect the misuse of personal data. Andwanitwe, NTV, Kampala.